Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Kitoxis here, and today we're going to be walking over how to port the Spindash from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 over to Sonic the Hedgehog 1's disassembly on Github. We're going to be going over the sonicretro how-to guide for a majority of this. However, I am going to be modifying things here and there to make it a little more simplified, not only for you, but for pretty much anybody else that does this from here on. So how about we get right to that? So first of all, here's the guide. We're going to be starting from the GitHub disassembly here. Now, this tells us that we need to open up something called variables.asm. We're not going to be opening up variables.asm. Instead, we're going to be opening up constants.asm. And it wants us to add a flag, which will be equivalent to 39. We're not going to use the same label here. We're actually going to use the label that Sonic 2 itself uses. I believe that is Spindash_flag. So what you're going to want to do is go to your constants.asm, find obsolid, and add a space. Now, you want to add Spindash_flag equal u, and that's going to be, what did I say? 39. Now we can save this and we can forget about this file for now. The next step the tutorial wants us to go through is to locate sonic_md normal. For the sake of this, I've already went to that label in the sonic.asm file. This is in the main folder of the disassembly. Going to add a space. In here, we're going to be calling for Sonic_spin dash. The next section, it wants you to copy and paste from the Sonic 2 disassembly over to Sonic 1's. We're not going to be doing a copy and paste from there because as things have changed, so too has the disassemblies grown in difference. Labels and RAM addresses having actual names over in Sonic 2 that don't coincide to Sonic 1. So for the sake of this tutorial, there will be a pastebin link down in the description that will contain this ASM file right here. This ASM file needs to be saved to _inc_obj under the name sonicspindash.asm. So once you've downloaded that and you've placed this file in there in its proper location, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add this file to the actual disassembly. So in order to do that, search for sonicjumpdirection.asm. You'll see that it's been included. What you need to do is now include sonicspindash.asm in the same way. So include _inc_obj sonicspindash.asm. Now you can go ahead and save that. Now at this point, everything should work properly, so navigate back to the main folder. You're going to want to run the build.bat. What that's going to do is generate a sonic1 built.bin. Go ahead and run that. It's going to appear very much like normal Sonic 1, with a key difference. Go ahead and go into Green Hill Zone and try to spin dash. As you'll see, the spin dash animation is not here yet. We'll get to that later. However, the physics are here. There's also another issue that I know of. I don't have sound on for the game right now, but of course the spin dash sound is also not set properly, so it's using a completely different sound right now. Anyway, let's jump to the next part of this tutorial. Which is in this section right here, changing the animations and sounds. We're actually going to just do the sound for right now. So I believe, let's see. So right now, the game is trying to load sound E0. However, it's not a suitable sound for Spindash because it silences the music. So what we're going to do is replace each instance with BE instead, which is the sound of a normal spin in Sonic 1. Which, of course, we're not going to be walking over how to port the actual sound effect itself. We might do that in a later video. This will be a fine replacement for now. So going back to sonicspindash.asm, we need to find every instance of this E0 here and replace it with BE. So let's just find every instance. That's all the instances. There was a second instance, but it's using BC. I don't know if this guide covers that sound effect or not. I don't believe it does. It does not. That's fine. It's fine for now. So the next step we're going to do is not follow this guide. We're going to save our changes here. So that's going to fix the sound effect issue. And now we will move on to setting up the animation. Setting up the animation is actually quite relatively easy as long as you know what you're doing. Let me just get Flex 2 loaded up real quick. For this tutorial, we will be using Flex 2, which I believe is a much better program than what the tutorial suggests you use. It's also better than Son Mapbed, which is... it's an okay program. Alright, so here's my Flex 2. We're going to be loading up Sonic's proper files, so make sure the game format is set to Sonic 1. The compression format is uncompressed. We're looking for art uncompressed sonic.bin. For the art, we're looking for underscore maps sonic.asm for the mappings. Make sure that you have DPLCs enabled. And for that, we're going to set it to underscore maps sonic dynamic graphics script.asm. And then we need to also load Sonic's palette, which is under palette sonic.bin. Once you have this all set up, you could load up at the top here. I think I accidentally caused an error. Hold on. Anyway, like I said, once you're done with that, you should be able to hit load next to object here, and that's going to load all of Sonic's sprites. From here, there's another file down in the description you're going to need to download. It is the animation frames for Sonic Spin Dash recolored to work with Sonic 1. What we're going to do is we're going to extract that to a new folder, which I've labeled Spindash sprites. You could label it whatever you want. And inside that zip file, you'll find fr Spindash 1 through 6. We're going to need to take these and import them into Flex 2. In order to do that, you want to use the import sprite sheet option. Navigate to the folder where Spindash sprites are and select the first one. Hit open, detect sprites, import, and import all. Do that for all of the sprites in that folder. So I'm just going to quickly blast through that. Alright, so now that that's all done, there is one more thing that we need to do. Well, we could actually save that for afterwards. Now what you want to do is you want to save the object that you just loaded, which is, of course, Sonic. Now all the new artwork, the mappings, the DPLCs are all saved. The next step, we need to go back to the guide. We need to go to the section right here. It tells us open constants.asm, scroll to the end, and add these lines. We're going to go back to here. We're going to open the constants file. Scroll all the way down to the end. Add a space. Paste these lines in. Save it. I believe now we could close it. We're probably not going to have to deal with that anymore. The next step, we're actually going to need to actually add the Spindash animation. Let me see. So you're looking for the file in the _anim folder called sonic.asm. We're going to want to add this line. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Just before the line Sonic walk wants us to add the pointer. So really before that line? Interesting. I wouldn't add it before, but okay. Let's not do it that way. I believe warp 1, 2, 3, and 4 should be unused animations. So we're going to replace the warp 1. With pointer Spindash. Actually, hold on. I can see why this might have been confusing to some people. Oh no, it says to the bottom. I'm not exactly sure why... Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm just being a derp. So we're gonna add this to the bottom underneath pointer float 4. Because this is going to be animation 1F now. Now we need to take the spin dash animation, scroll all the way down here, and underneath that, paste it, and then save. The next thing we need to do is once again scroll further down. We're going to add this ID down at the bottom. Save it again, if you didn't already. That should be all set. Now we don't need this folder anymore, or this file. So we can close that out, and we're gonna focus back on Sonic Spin Dash here. Now the guide previously had us changing an animation to the Spin Dash animation. I believe anything here, so 9. We're going to change that from 9. We're going to actually make that ID Spin Dash. Like so. Now if we save this, and then actually we need to change one more thing real quick. This right here needs to be changed to a value of 1F00. Now we could save and build and test it out again. We actually have errors. Apparently, the pointers that we had saved previously are not defined. Let's double check the constants file, because that's where we added those, I believe. Or should be where we added those. They do exist. What's the issue? Oh. I think we actually did miss something up in here. Oh. Oh. I see. Okay. We're actually going to forego that. Let's just remove those. Save. We have to go back to the animation script for Sonic. My bad, guys. My bad. This is part of why things can be a bit of a headache sometimes. We're gonna get rid of ID Spin Dash because it's calling for those pointers, and... wait. No. We can keep it. What we need to change is these right here, I believe. Yes, that's right. That is what we need to change. I'm just trying to double check and make sure, because while this is neat and all, this is highly unnecessary. you can just call these by their animation numbers instead. So, for example, let me just do a quick little rundown here. So, like, fr underscore spin-1 does not need to be what it is. Instead, we could change that to be 58. And so on and so forth. Alright. Now, after we've done those changes, we should be able to save. It should build, and it should run perfectly fine. Yep, that's when build.bin is here. We can load that back up. Load into Green Hill Zone, and attempt to spin dash again. As you can see, it works, but Sonic floats a little high. That's because we need to adjust the vertical position in Flex 2. However, for the most part, the spin dash does work. Let's go ahead and fix up the positioning. I'm going to pull up Flex 2 again. I'm actually going to pull this to the side real quick because I want to reference one of my own files for the positioning of the spin dash. Alright. Alright, so what we need to do is go to the Mappings tab here if we're not already in it. Click the first sprite, and we need to change the Y and move it down 9 pixels. We need to do the same thing for every single one, which is not a big issue. After you've done that, go ahead and hit save again, and then build the game. Now Sonic should be on the ground. It does indeed work, and that is where we're going to end today's video. The next video, I will cover a bit more of this guide. I'll include some fixes. I will also first things first. We'll apply the fixes, and then we'll work from there. But for now, you should have a semi-functional spin dash.